Hi, welcome to the 2026 Penn Move-In webinar. My name is Aaliyah. I am part of the class of 2028 and part of the marketing and communications team for residential and hospitality services. And I am so happy you guys have made time to come join us for a presentation. So quick introductions. Today I have with me our move-in interns, Nevaeh and Faith. And we also have our NSO interns, Margot, Olivia, and John. We are also excited to help you with any questions or concerns you may have through today's webinar. We are recording and we will be posting everything on our website, our YouTube channel, and we're also going to go over 3 topics today. So first we will go over move-in information and new student orientation information, and then we'll end with an FAQ and a live Q&A session for any other questions that you have, and you can send those through the Q&A feature. We have a team in the back who are also answering questions. Before we begin, make sure to follow us on our Instagram socials at PennRes. So that's PENNRES, and at NSOAI Penn. And please keep up with the move-in residential services and NSO emails and websites for further reminders and updates on upcoming events. Give me a second. Okay, awesome. We can click through the slides. I can hand it over to Nevaeh and Faith now to go over move-in information.
Okay, sorry for the delay, but let's just jump right into it with the first year move-in dates. So this year there will be 2 days available for first years to move in, which will be Monday, August 17th, and Tuesday, August 18th. Monday move-in will be for general first year populations and specific move-in populations, which would be first year exchange, first generation, limited income, international, transfer students, and general first year. For the arrival times on Monday are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. For Tuesday, move-in will just be per general first-year population and will not include all of the specific places I said, including first-year exchange, first-generation, limited income, international transfer students. For Tuesday, move-in of arrival times will end an hour earlier than Monday and are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Hi everyone! So, an important task before you move in is to select your move-in time, which is available at My Home at Penn. As my co-intern Nevaeh mentioned, arrival times on Monday will be from 8 a.m. to 5, and on Tuesday they'll be from 8 a.m. to 4. So it's important that you select one so that you can have your time when you arrive on campus. You will be eligible to receive your Penn card and check-in once you arrive on campus, once you select your arrival time. But you will only be able to select your arrival time once you have confirmed your room assignment on Campus Express. If you haven't already, please make sure that you confirm that, because without it, again, you won't be able to select your arrival time. It is also important that you visit Campus Express to see your exact room assignment, which means the college house and exact room number where you will be living. The next task will be available on August 1st, where you can start registering your guests for move-in through the RHS portal. So make sure you select your arrival time, visit your Campus Express page to know your assignment, review any move-in information on our websites, and then register your guests.
Okay, now deciding what to pack. Before you decide what to pack, students should review room diagrams or features on Campus Express to know specific details about their housing assignments. Students can also review the RHS website for a full list of furnishing inside each college house. Some packing essentials we recommend are a desk light, a fridge or microwave. Most first-year rooms do not have a micro fridge provided, but if you're interested, you can go to mymicrofridge.com. Certain protectors, please do not bring extension cords. Plastic resealable food storage containers, a mattress pad, pillows, and towels are also essential. Poster putties for hanging up posters and photos. And then lastly, some twin XL sheets that we recommend, and you can see the measurements there. And you can also always buy these essentials at the Penn bookstore. We also highly recommend coordinating with your roommate to ensure that there's no duplicates and safe space in your dorm. All links provided on the slideshow are also available on the link tree in Penn Res bio.
So now that you know what to pack, here's a list of some of the things you should leave at home. Students can find the full list of prohibited items on the RHS website, but to list a few, please don't bring any pets, candles, incense, or any other items that can burn and create smoke. Please don't bring any multi-plug converters or, as we previously mentioned, extension cords. Please don't bring any peel and stick wallpaper. Instead, try and bring poster putty. Please don't bring any command strips or hooks, halogen lamps, black lights, or LED strip lights. Hoverboards, electronic scooters, and electronic bikes can be locked outside but may not enter college houses. So please be aware of that if you decide to bring any to campus. And lastly, please don't bring any air conditioners, heavy duty appliances, or heavy duty electrical equipment. Emotional support animals or pets are an exception to what to leave, and accommodations for these can be requested through Wine Garden, not the housing department. Any electronic medical grade mobility devices may also be brought into college houses once you have submitted that request to Wine Garden and it has been approved.
Now we're going to talk about shipping to campus. So students can begin shipping items on campus 2 weeks before the move-in date. As many students are shipping things to campus, it might take a little longer than expected, and students should be checking their email for more updates about their packages. Students may find their shipping and living address on Mail and Packages page. It's very important to note that your living and your shipping address are different, so students should be aware of that when mailing things onto campus or delivering food here on campus. Some tipping tips to for some shipping tips would be to use UPS, DHL, or FedEx for faster shipping. Also for Amazon orders, you can use Amazon here at Penn for optimal speed and convenience. And then some Penn perks is to use personal ship for discounted shipping rates with UPS and DHS. As we said, Campus Express has both of your mailing and living address, so check there if any questions arise.
Now that you've all packed and shipped some things to campus, it's time to talk about getting you to campus. If you are living in Stouffer College House or any section of the quad, this year the best entry point is going to be from 38th and Spruce Street. If you're living in Hill, please follow the Walnut Street route to best get to your college house. If you're living in King's Court English College House, which we here call K-Check, or Lauder College House, you're going to want to use the route on Chestnut Street. And lastly, if you're moving into any other college houses on campus, you want to enter at the Walnut and 38th Street intersection. However, when in doubt, all college houses can be accessed through Walnut Street. During move-in days, there will be several street closures on campus. Once you arrive, you will be able to unload your vehicle and remain parked on the street for up to 1 hour after your arrival time. Depending on the building where you'll be living, there may be staff members that completely unload your car for you or offer light assistance. For further details that vary by college house, please visit the Residential Services website. Once your stuff has been unloaded from your vehicle, you'll be able to move your car to the nearest parking garage where you can park free of charge until 8 p.m. on the day of your move-in. There will also be parking passes that can direct you to the garage closest to your college house and will serve as a waiver once you leave the garage, as this service is complimentary. On your move-in day, if you forget any of the information that we cover in the webinar, or if you get confused, you can of course visit our website or direct your questions to our professional staff who will be there to assist you in person. On campus, we have our move-in coordinators in royal blue and our professional move-in staff in red. So make note of these colors as these people will be the best to turn to if you have an in-person question.
Now, what to expect when you get on campus. So staff identification, as Faith said, there will be staff in teal, red, or royal blue who will be there to assist you throughout the day and every step. Also, for arrival, we're going to have signage all throughout campus to make sure that people know where their college house is or just any other information that you need from the signage. Then for pen card and moving cart, you can pick up your pen card at the check-in location for each of the college houses. And you can check out a moving cart either from the tent designated with your college house or from your informational center, which would be inside the building. For after-hour move-in, our informational centers are open 24/7, so that's where you'll be able to check out your cart and tent at the tent, or you can also pick out your pen card if you're doing after-hour move-in.
Once you're in the building, you've checked in, and you've been given your Penn card, you're going to need to make note of your PAC code. PAC stands for Penn Card Access Code, and it's a 4-digit code that allows students to gain access to the Penn College houses. It also grants you access to your specific room, much like a hotel key card. Students can see, change, and set their PAC by visiting campusexpress.upenn. There are also QR codes located at the information centers of each college house that you can scan to take you straight to the website where you can access your PAC code. Please be aware that if you change your PAC prior to moving in, it can take up to 24 hours for the change to take effect. So if you move in on the 17th, you're going to want to change your PAC code at the latest, the 15th, so that it has a full 24 hours to take effect, so that it will work when you come to campus.
Now for elevator and dumbwaiters, depending on what building you live in, you may have access to an elevator to help you move in. Please be mindful not to block these elevator doors or hold them open for extended period of times, as it can cause the elevator to shut down. We also have a presentation on how to use the dumbwaiters in the college houses. Dumbwaiters are located in Du Bois and Gregory College House. The video that we'll be showcasing will be only for Du Bois, but there will be a video for Gregory, and the Du Bois video will get posted on our Instagram.
Now we're going to turn it over to some frequently asked questions that students and parents have during move-in operations. What should I note the day of move-in? Please note your college house and your room assignment. Please also note what is the best recommended route to take if you are driving onto campus. Please also be aware that there will be professional staff in different colored shirts, so the teal, the royal blue, and the red, that can help you with any questions that arise the day that you move in.
And then for move-in time / when to move in, as I said earlier, move-in for first day will be Monday, August 17th, and Tuesday, August 18th. And on Monday, it's going to be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Tuesday, it's going to be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
What do I do if I miss my arrival time? This is a very common question and situation that can arise. If you miss your arrival time, you will still be able to move into your college house. If you arrive once supported operations have ended for the day, so past 5 p.m. on Monday or past 4 p.m. on Tuesday, you will still be able to move in. However, there will be no staff available to assist you. You'll have to directly go to your building's information center to get your Penn card and sign out a move-in card, and then you'll have to unload your vehicle and make your way to your room by yourself. However, if you do still arrive between that 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 p.m. window, but you miss your designated arrival time, you will still be able to access our support staff.
And then next, how to register guests. Like, what if guest registration isn't working for me? Guests can be registered on RHS portal, and if online registration is not working, at the informational centers, you should always write a paper pass for guests.
How many guests, including moving companies, can I register? We recommend that you register no more than 2 guests. However, we understand that everyone's family size may look different. If you need to register more than 2 guests, you will still be able to do so. However, again, we recommend no more than 2 so that we can make our move-in as sufficient as possible for everyone. If you do plan on bringing a move-in company to help you moving your stuff to campus, you will still need to make a pass for every member of the move-in company who will be needing to access the building. Once you make a guest pass, they will be able to enter the building on their own. However, they will still need to bring a photo ID in order to get their guest pass activated.
What if I can't arrive during the scheduled move-in period? If you can't arrive, then you can always email your college house or your college house manager and let them know when you'll be arriving. And as we said earlier, the informational centers are always open, so you can go and get your Penn card from there and also check out a move-in card.
Where do I get my Penn card/student ID? You can get your Penn card from the designated pavilion or ID tent located outside of your college house. And if you move in once supported operations have concluded for the day, you can still get your Penn card. It will just be at your building's information center.
And then lastly, when I leave for winter break, do I need to fully move out? You do not need to fully move out of your housing assignment, but it's important to note that you will not have access to the building during winter break. Now we're going to turn it over to NSO.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia and I'm one of the communications intern for NSO this year. So we're so excited to welcome everybody to campus this fall with our new student orientation. So I just want to give everybody a few updates in terms of communications as we approach August. So first, our email communications with new students has already started. So please regularly check your Penn emails for updates about NSO, such as our Save the Date for NSO email, which already went live on July 1st. So we will be communicating with you guys through your new Penn email, so please make sure to check that regularly. Next, please keep an eye out for the NSO full schedule, which will be available on our website in early August. For now, we have an amazing events at a glance schedule available for everybody to reference, which we'll touch upon in just a bit. Third, keep an eye out for the online orientation module Thrive at Penn, or TAP, which will go live on August 3rd. TAP is a series of modules on Canvas which you can access through your Penn email once it goes live on the 3rd. Completion of TAP is mandatory if you want to be able to register for your spring classes, and Phase 1 is due on August 17th. Finally, if you have any questions regarding NSO, please contact us at the email listed, and we'll be more than happy to help you guys out. So now I'll pass it on to Margot, our events intern, to talk about some of the NSO events.
Hi everyone, I'm Margot. So here we have our events at a glance calendar, and this is here to give you an idea of what NSO week will look like. So as you can see, the move-in days that were discussed earlier are seen on Monday and Tuesday, and as we move throughout the week, you will see 7 mandatory events and a bunch of other optional events. So the optional events are additional opportunities to socialize and spend time with your new peers and explore all of the amazing opportunities that Penn has to offer. And the mandatory events have required attendance, and they exist to provide students with very necessary information for navigating campus. And they also provide a chance to start meeting your new class. So I'm going to hand it off to John Andrew, and he's going to tell you a bit more about other important programming that's going on throughout NSO Week.
Hey everyone, my name is John Andrew. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm excited to tell you about a couple of special Penn events and things that you should know about this schedule. Actually, it's on that last slide. First one is about preceptorials. Preceptorials are opportunities for students to get to meet faculty before classes even starts and get to know student groups who have presence on campus to learn more about the academic and social life once you get started here at Penn. Additionally, we have on the schedule several spots where placement exams are being scheduled. If you're eligible to take a placement exam to place out of an entry-level course, several departments across Penn will have emailed you to say if you are eligible. If you believe you are eligible for a placement exam, such as a foreign language or math requirements because of classes you've taken in high school, then you need to reach out to those departments directly. They're going to list that information on their website and send you this information via email. And it's the student's responsibility to ensure that they have it in their own schedule and attend their own placement exams during the designated times at the beginning of new student orientation. And then finally, on Friday, we have this red block called Finn's group activities. And that's what I'm personally in charge of. I'm in charge of all the new student orientation leaders who are going to be with your students throughout the entire new student orientation. This is when they're going to get their official tour of campus, get to know other students with similar interests as them early on in the process. And they will also be able to take trainings about our social expectations in between students and faculty and staff members on campus. And if you advance to the next slide, Margaret has some comments about some of the other events we'd like to highlight.
Great. Yeah. So here are some photos of some of the events coming up. This is just to give you a little glance into all the fun things that are to come. You can find many more photos on the NSO AI website, and that'll give you a chance to really prepare your expectations and start getting excited about all these fun events that we have coming up. So highlighted below here are a mix of mandatory events, optional events, and a few of our really fun traditions that Penn students get the opportunity to participate in.
The 3 that I'd like to talk to you about are the evening at the National Constitution Center, which is a casual event for you to be able to go to the center dedicated to some of our nation's most foundational documents. It's bought out for the entire evening. You'll be able to have dinner there and have a great time with live music and several other events that Margaret was planning. Additionally, there is convocation, which is a quintessential experience for the beginning of your academic tenure as an undergraduate here at Penn. This is for you to hear speeches and information and words of wisdom from the president, the provost, and the people that are going to form your educational experience from start to finish over the next 4 years. And then finally is the Finn's Friday tours, which I told you a little bit about. You can see here an example of some new students and their FINS, which is an acronym standing for Peers Helping Integrate New Students, giving their tour on campus for that new year.
Great. So the other three events highlighted here are High Ball to Heyday, which is a really fun Penn tradition that the freshman class participates in. In the middle, it's the Welcome to the Penn Community, which is an event in the Palestra, and that is one of our mandatory events. And you get to hear from fun speakers and just be in the same place as your whole class, which is a really exciting time. And then lastly, we have the class photo on the top right, and that is your opportunity to pick up your class shirt and take the iconic aerial photograph on Franklin Field of the class spelling out the graduation year. So these are all really fun events and just a few of the exciting things to come throughout NSO week.
Awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna go into our FAQ section. Questions are on the screen, but I'll also be reading them aloud just in case you guys can't see. And then if you guys still have questions after this, feel free to still put things in the chat. We're still answering questions through chat. So first, what is the best way to bring items to Penn if you cannot drive in? So we encourage residents who cannot drive in to ship their non-essential belongings, so things they don't need immediately, by using their proper mailing address, which they should be able to find by logging into Campus Express, specifically under the My Housing tab. Each resident should have a 6-digit residential mailing number, which is unique to them throughout their entire time living on campus. So this won't change even if they change college houses or rooms throughout their years at Penn. That one stays the same. And for more information on like what ways to ship items in, they can also look at the Penn Residential Services website about shipping ahead and the ways to do that. But in general, we have like UPS, FedEx, and then we also have our Amazon at Penn. Second, how do package deliveries work and how can we use the Amazon lockers? So you can start mailing your items 2 weeks before your arrival date, but please keep in mind we can only hold items for 2 weeks. When you order your items, you will be notified through your email when and where you can pick up your package when you use your mailing address. So if you get notified from a store, for example, if you're ordering off of Amazon, that your items have arrived, you need to wait to get that notification from Penn Mailing Services, as they still have to process the packages into our mailing rooms. And then during move-in, please just be patient as well. We have a higher volume of packages and inventory during this time. And to figure out how to use Amazon at Penn, specific instructions are listed in our Shop Penn website, or you can just Google Amazon at Penn on your search bar and it'll pop up. And next, what does my college house look like and what is the configuration of my room/house? Your house configuration depends entirely on your specific assignment. You can check your exact room details and floor plans by logging into Penn Residential Services housing portal, or by checking out our Penn Res website under living options, where you can see like the general plans of your college house. Will there be people to help with moving things during move-in? So yes, during move-in days, you will get to see our hardworking move-in team, coordinators, and numerous volunteers. They will provide support, assist on where to park, and give directions for anyone who needs help. Each college house also has an information center where students can check in and register their guests as well. Can I bring more than one car, and could I bring a U-Haul? We do encourage students to only bring one car, mainly because it's very busy, everyone's moving in. And yeah, we don't recommend bringing a U-Haul, so please be mindful of the number of items you are bringing to campus, and you can also ship ahead as well if you have a lot of items. And can I change housing or my roommate before I get to campus? So, incoming students will not be permitted to apply for a room change prior to the room change period, which opens a few weeks after the beginning of classes. Residential services will send out an email to students living on campus when that application is open. However, if there are urgent situations or unique circumstances, by all means, please reach out to your RAs, your housing directors, and those people in your college house, and feel free to still contact living@upenn.edu. That's the Penn residential email for further information or to get advice or help. Will there be carts or bins to help with moving our items? Yes, when you arrive on campus, you will see that there will be tents set up and volunteers to help you figure out how to borrow our carts to transport your items. And can we have bed risers slash loft the beds in our college houses? So if you don't know, bed risers are usually those like plastic blocks put under the bed to raise the bed height, and lofting refers to using other furniture to do that, like your desk or dressers. We neither provide nor encourage the use of bed risers or lofting unless residential services thinks it's necessary. Residents who believe their room may need lofting or bunking may have their rooms assessed by putting a work order in with facilities, and you can also email living@upenn.edu. However, usually most students can fit in suitcases, bins, or small dressers under the bed. So there's already a lot of space for storage already. So usually we don't really encourage that. Awesome. Can guests attend NSO events after Wednesday, such as convocation? So events like convocation is for first year and new transfer students only. However, NSO offers optional in-person events for Penn parents and families to attend, and that will be specified in the programs. How long is a guest pass valid? So for move-in day, guest passes are valid for 12 hours, and guests will not be allowed to stay overnight. If a guest has to return on another day during move-in, they will have to re-register for an extended guest pass. And should I have renter's insurance? Okay, so renter's insurance helps, in general, protect residents from the cost of replacing personal belongings in the event of a covered incident. They are encouraged to review any existing coverage through family homeowner or other policies. And they can also explore having a rental insurance rider added to an existing policy or explore renter's insurance products through any reputable insurance company. It can be purchased through anyone that you choose. However, the renters program offered by GradGuard, so that is GradGuard, is recommended by the university. And if you want to learn more about that, please visit gradguard.com/renters/Penn, or you can also just like put GradGuard Penn and it will pop up. And is there dining available during NSO? Yes, we will email students about dining cafe options and hours during that time, and families and guardians will also be able to enjoy our dining cafes with their students. Awesome. So that concludes our FAQ portion. At this time, we will share any questions you have asked in the Q&A. We've also been actively responding to questions through chat, and we will try to answer them to the best of our abilities. And just a reminder, if you have any more questions after this, please refer to our important contacts on the screen. If you have any questions about college house life, contact Chaz, which is the College House and Academic Services. And for more move-in information, contact residential services through living@upenn.edu. You can also contact the NSO office, provost-nso-ai at pobox.upenn.edu, and their website, nso.upenn.edu. Our social media will also have reminders and previews and updates and a lot of fun videos. So again, that is at Penres, PENNRES, and for NSO, that is at NSOAI Penn. First live question. Will there be a loading zone outside of each residential house? And how long will students have to remove items from their car? Will Penn Res volunteers be assisting on move-in day to help students? I'm going to pass that on to our move-in interns.
You will have up to 1 hour once you arrive on campus to get your vehicle unloaded and get your stuff over to your room. There are street closures, so only people moving into college houses will have access to the streets during these times. And depending on specific college houses, there will be sections of the street that are closest to the entrances that you'll be using where your stuff will be unloaded. But essentially, during any point of your move-in process, there could be parking staff and volunteers and our professional staff helping you unload your vehicle.
Next question. Do the shipping locations get booked? Like, do they get full, or are you able to accommodate everyone usually? In general, we are able to, like, as I mentioned before, it does get a little busy during move-in. However, most emails should get out to you within like maybe 2 days of processing, max 2, 3. And in general, like there's never really an issue with our mailing and stuff. So yeah. Is there a deadline for declaring the move-in date requirement? Navia and Faith.
Yeah, I'll answer this one. We just encourage students to like declare your day as soon as possible because doing that will allow you to register your guests. So we just say for you to do it as soon as we possibly can.
There is also the ability to change your move-in time after you selected one, but please be aware that the time slots do fill up quickly. So if you are unhappy with your existing time slot and then you change to another one, the time that you want may not be available and you may not be able to return to your previously existing slot.
Do parents go to the dinner on the 18th after the parents' welcome, or is that for students only? I think it might be listed on the program that you guys get out. And for people who are asking how they could get in contact with people in their college house, apparently there's a UPenn 2030 WhatsApp group chat with 1,000 people from the class of 2030, and there's a link to join, just in case you might want to join it. I don't see any information in my STEP module at Penn. Is this available yet? I know you have your own. I did STEP. So you have your own contact person for the pre-orientation program. So you might want to email them for any clarifying questions. But if not, like I think it should pop up as you get closer to August and coming to campus. Can parents join any NSO activity? Like I mentioned before, it's specified, so like certain events might not be, but feel free to email the NSO AI team for any questions like that. As far as moving in, would it work to get an Uber to transfer stuff from a hotel? Is the vehicle unloading quick enough? Move-in interns, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, if you have an Uber or a Lyft that is bringing you from like a hotel or the airport onto campus, they will still be able to utilize our street closures and help you get where you need to go. So just make sure that when you're putting in the drop-off address, you check your college house and then you put whichever street is closest to there, then they'll be able to pull in onto the street and then our staff will help unload the vehicle and then you should be able to get your stuff all moved in.
I'm also seeing a lot of questions about bed heights and clarification on the lofting. So we will be sharing a video about bed heights through our social media, PenRes, soon, so we can clarify that for you guys. And if there's anything specific about your room, feel free after the video's gone out and you still have questions, feel free to email us. Next question, how do we know who our Finns is?
Yeah, absolutely. So you will be assigned a Fin once you arrive on campus, but that is your point of contact for the students once NSO is officially started.
Yeah. What if we can't have any guests to help? In this case, will there be someone to help or anything of that sort?
Yeah, I can answer that question. It's okay if you don't have guests to help you. As we said, there's going to be people called the moving coordinators, which will be in the royal blue, and they'll be able to help you like move your stuff upstairs or just help you all throughout the process if you're confused. They'll also point you in the direction of your college house and just help you get all acclimated if you don't have any guests to help you.
Hey, I'm a freshman. How early can I get access to the room? Can I move in a day or two before the move-in date, or is that the only day we can get dorm access?
I can take that one. So if you are a first year and you're part of a specific population that we mentioned earlier, so for example, you're a first generation, transfer, exchange, or low income student, you would be able to move in as early as 8 a.m. on August 17th. If you are any other first year, then you'll be able to move in as early as 8 a.m. on the 18th. And those are the earliest times first years are eligible to move into the dorms.
On Tuesday the 18th, is the dinner on the events at a glance slide meant for parents too or students only? I'm assuming that refers to NSO.
Yeah, so I think our events, we do have some that are available to family members, such as our president and provost family welcome on Tuesday the 18th. However, parents are not required to attend any of the events. and most of them, like our social events, are meant for students. So I would say for in terms of family involvement, that would just stick to the first 2 days when move-in is still occurring. But for the rest of NSO week, it should usually just be the students.
And what events are taking place on the 17th?
Yeah, so on the 17th, it's all a move-in day. So it's specifically for first years and specific population. So we did not plan any NSO programming during that time. And most of the events will start officially on Wednesday.
Can families come in 2 cars instead of one if U-Hauls are not allowed?
For cars, we recommend, as Leah said earlier, just only having one moving car if you can. As I said, like a lot of people are coming at the same time, so it's really just helpful to only have one moving car.
And don't forget that you can ship any non-essential items that you may want to bring in a second car as soon as 2 weeks before your arrival onto campus.
Oh, after the year ends, how does the process of storing stuff off campus for the school year work?
We work with both College Butler and Storage Scholar if any students would like to utilize those services to store their things over the summer. Information on that can be found by Googling the names of those two companies, and there should also be information on the Penn Residential website.
Can parents only stay for an hour during the allocated move-in times, or can they stay longer if they wanted to?
Yeah, for the 1 hour, that's just how long like your car has to be there before it can be transported to a garage. But your parents can stay there for longer than an hour if they would like.
The guest passes made during move-in are valid until 8 p.m. on the day that you move in.
Is there a list of key items highly recommended to get? And if so, where can I find it? I'm assuming you mean for like your college house. With an interns, do you have any recommendations on what to bring?
So once you see your room assignment on Campus Express, if there is anything that you would like to add to that, you of course bring what you would like to bring, and there is a recommended packing list on the Residential Services website that you can find with key things that they recommend you bring. And if you don't bring anything, you can always purchase it at one of the stores nearby, including the Penn bookstore.
And also the Penn bookstore has like a whole list of like essentials that you can bring as well, as you can purchase there as well.
In general, just make sure you have like everything you might need, like one thing I brought or I didn't bring that I wish I did was a Brita. I know a lot of students bring Britas now. And so that's something I would recommend for you to bring. Where do we get the pack info from?
You can see your pack, change your pack, and set your pack on campusexpand.upenn.edu.
And as we said, it usually takes 24 hours. So if you do change your pack, make sure that you wait the whole 24 hours before you can like use the new one.
Are we allowed to put stuff on our dorm doors? Yes, for like decor and stuff. I know I decorate my dorm door with posters and stuff, but you just have to make sure that like whatever you're using to tape it on is like paint safe, wall safe, because if they end up tearing off like paint too bad, like we might have to like contact you and have to sort that out. So just keep that in mind for any type of room decors you have coming to Penn. What website do we go to create a guest pass?
You can go on the RHS portal to create a guest pass. And as I said earlier, if it doesn't work, you can always create a paper pass when you get here on campus at the information centers.
Where are the washer and dryers for the freshmen? So depending on your college house, it should be located on your floor. Someone may say, I live in Du Bois, so I know ours is a four-year college house. So ours is located in the basement. But depending on your college house, it might be located somewhere else. But it's usually very easily accessible, and it's like a communal dryer washer area. Not sure if this is a repeat question, but on Tuesday the 18th, is the dinner on the events at a glance slide meant for parents too or students only?
Yeah, so parents are allowed to attend the dinner through the guest swipes.
Are all bathrooms co-ed? I'll let the move-in interns answer that.
It depends on the college house that you are living in. So there are bathrooms on every floor. If you are living, for example, in Hale College House, those are co-ed, but the shower stalls have doors that you can like lock yourself in there and then like leave when you're ready. And if you're like living in K-Check or English House, for example, each floor has a girls' bathroom, a gender neutrals bathroom, and then a boys' bathroom. So it honestly does depend on which college house you're living in, but all this information can be found on the Penn Residential website.
Is the dinner food good? Personally, I think yes. I'm not sure where you'll be eating, but if any of the interns want to mention their favorite dining hall and shout out Penn Dining.
Yeah, I can answer this. I think the great thing about Penn is that we have like a bunch of dining halls here. We have about like 8 here. I would say my favorite is Houston Hall. As Houston Hall is looking like a food court style, like you know, in a mall where you can get things from like sushi, a burger, pasta, some soul food. So I really enjoy like those main options. And you can use like a meal site there as well. So that would be my favorite.
Yes. And you'll also at some point like figure out how to use the differences between like a meal swipe and your dining dollars, and which places takes both. Either I know like Pret takes dining dollars, and that's a really popular cafe. And I personally really like Commons. I think Commons is great. And I feel like, yes, the food at Commons is good. Another question for K-Check. Are there 3 bathrooms per floor? Meaning there are 3 shower locations or just toilets in themselves?
I can take this one. I lived in K-Check when I was a first year, and yes, there are 3 per floor, which includes like a sink, which includes a toilet, and which includes shower stalls.
And I think that is all of the questions we'll be taking today. Thank you so much for joining us for our 2026 Moving webinar. We really appreciate it. And if, like I said, if you have any more questions, please feel free to email living@upenn.edu and check out our websites. And we are so excited to welcome you guys onto campus. And we'll see you guys very soon. And we can't wait.